The U.S. government is poised to forgive a whopping $108 billion in student loans. Now, these are specifically federal student loans, not private student loans, but it's all part of a repayment program that many students enrolled in. And now, since they have met the requirements, their student loan will be forgiven. The plans set monthly payments as a percentage of a borrower's income and extend repayment from the standard 10 years to up to 25 years. Now, if they're unable to pay the rest of that loan after 25 years, the remaining balances are forgiven. Now, let me break down the numbers a little further for you, okay? Keep in mind that we have about $1.2 trillion in student loan debt, which is, severely impacting people's ability to contribute to the economy. They're unable to buy cars or homes, things like that. Now, enrollment in the plans has more than tripled in the past 3 years to 5.3 million borrowers as of June and are now required to be making payments. They collectively owe $355 billion. Now, the Government Accountability Office estimates that $137 billion of that figure won't be repaid. Most of it, $108 billion, will be forgiven because of borrowers fulfilling their obligations under income-driven repayment plans. So again, the $108 billion only covers loans made through the current school year, however, and also the overall sum could continue to grow alongside enrollment increase.
So the Wall Street Journal article on this had a panic tone to it.
It did, yes.
Like, oh my God, this is a scathing report. It turns out some kids are going to, after paying their loans for years and years and years, decades and decades, at some point will not have that loan held over their head. Oh, God damn it.
It's almost like people who go bankrupt and their loans are forgiven.
To the tune of hundreds of millions of dollars, and then they later become president.
Yeah.
I didn't see the Wall Street Journal crying about that. Okay, no, this got painted as bad news. I agree to disagree. I think this is great news.
So let me give you a little more background on why it was painted as bad news. So the Education Department under the Obama administration has a budget, and they make estimates in terms of how much they're probably going to have to spend in forgiving these loans. They underestimated it due to their methodology. And so the Government Accountability Office is like, what the hell is going on? The number is wrong, okay? Are we really going to help American taxpayers? Are we really going to help people who went out of their way to get an education so they can be productive members of society? Screw them, okay? You screwed up. We're going to forgive $108 billion in student loan debt? Yes. Yes, you are. And by the way, the Education Department is like, duly noted, we will be better in estimating how much we're going to have to spend to forgive student loans. By the way, the federal government makes a ton of money on interest due to these federal student loans. Okay, the interest rates are much higher for these students as opposed to banks who also borrow money from the government. So keep that in mind as well.
All right, so look, do I wish that they had estimated correctly? Sure. Is it the job of the Government Accountability Office to hold them accountable? Yes. So I'm not concerned about those parts. That's totally fine. And the Government Accountability Office is supposed to yell at people when they misstate the numbers. Or not misstate. They didn't make any, as far as we know, any mistakes on purpose when they find out that, hey, your projections didn't hold true. Okay. But this is a mistake on behalf of American people. And on behalf of your kids who, or now you, to actually have an opportunity. The same opportunity that some others have had, right? Mm-hmm. So, on the other hand, in Iraq, we'd lose like, I forget the numbers, but they were stunning. It's in the billions of dollars. And they'd come back and they'd be like, oh, sorry, we lost $6 billion. I mean, it was story after story.
Right. Well,
and nobody would blink an eye.
That has to do with making defense contractors and weapons manufacturers wealthy. So in that case, if there's a little bit of mismanagement, a little bit of underestimating on budgets, that's okay. That's okay, right? But when it comes to helping American students, then we gotta hold everyone accountable, guys. Come on.
Yeah. And so, just last piece of context for you guys. When we were about to go into the war in Iraq, neoconservatives in Congress promised that it would only cost a couple of $1 billion. In reality, it cost a couple of $1 trillion. So you give me the couple of $1 trillion back from Iraq, and then I'll cry about how some people paid back their loans for decades, but then at the end, some small portion of it was relieved. Yeah, that all went to at least American citizens who got an education. Compared to what happened in Iraq, it's nothing. Compared to the waste in the Defense Department, it's nothing. So you want to tackle waste, let's tackle some real waste.
And one final thing that I have to add to this, okay? Yes, the remainder of their student loans are forgiven after 25 years. But guess what happens? Then the IRS comes after these students for earned income taxes, right? So they will have to pay an earned income tax on the forgiveness of that loan.
Jesus, guys, indentured servitude was 7 years. This is 25 years. When is enough enough? This is not a bad news story. This is a great news story. Congratulations to President Obama. This is one of his accomplishments. Thank you. You power the Young Turks. We do this all through membership. tytnetwork.com/join. Let's build the media that we can believe in.